We're actually spending money as quickly as we can spend it sensibly. Something I haven't heard talked about much since the call is how much farther ahead Tesla is going to get from the competition. They were constrained on R&D and growth before and still outpacing everyone. Full quote, "We're actually spending money as quickly as we can spend it sensibly," Musk said. "There is no artificial holdback on expenditures. Anything that I see that looks like it's got good value for money, the answer is yes immediately. And then despite all that, we are still generating positive cash. So in light of that, it doesn't make sense to raise money if Tesla was outpacing all the other competition in tech and growth being constrained and they still made all this progress. Think about where they will be 5 to 10 years out being able to put full resources behind R&D, infrastructure, growth, hiring and of course service. It just seems more and more grim for a lot of the OEMs." Link to earning call with quote, https://edge.media-server.com/mmc/p/6ang4gj6b. He said their main bottleneck is lack of genius-level engineers. Both Tesla and SpaceX are, and have been for some time, top destinations for top engineers in the US. This is a problem for other automakers if you think that third-party software is not a great solution for them. Using third-party software in an era where profits flow to whoever makes the software is not wise. You lose margin, and you don't end up with a world-class software team of your own. Traditional automakers are bringing hardware to a software fight. Grim outlook for them. Was it GM that spent like $5 billion in advertising for the last 10 years? To me, this already seemed to be the case. They have been increasing sales and production at about 50% a year, and while gross margin on the product has been fluctuating, they are still ahead of most, I think. Despite that, their total liabilities have been increasing slowly. Even if they have actually got more cash available. I've been reading everything I can, to try and guess where they are spending it. My prediction, Battery Day, and some more announcements during the year are going to shake things up more than most believe possible. We all know that Elon wants to increase battery production by a factor of 50. Nobody knows how fast. The biggest bottleneck will be raw materials. I think he will be aiming for a target of 2 to 5 years. Don't know if that's physically possible, but I think that's the sort of time scale he has in mind. I think the main breakthrough is the culture, startup mentality, and risk aversion. Legacy Auto simply had no reason to rock their cash cow, until now. GM is still dragging their feet with the future right in front of them with only 10% of their R&D going into EV tech. GM will be decimated in 10 years for their lack of comprehension. Again, most legacy auto won't survive the switch to EV. So yeah, I hear that. How about more service centers and low-end part stocking so we are not waiting for parts in regions? I mean, you could then hire back all the people who answer the dang phones and improve user experience. I know these are like crazy ideas, but you seem to be needing ideas on how to spend the cash. The user experience is not what it once was, and that is not good long term. The spend is worth it in spades for continued cult-like growth. This is why I don't understand why people keep talking about Model S and X refresh. Where do they think that engineering is coming from? What project do you propose they take it away from? Yet they're still being stingy on those old Model S packs that are failing. They keep software restricting them instead of biting the bullet and replacing, and don't say it's a battery limitation. They say they have the capacity to produce 90,000 SX per year and are producing just 80,000. Their battery cells are different than Model 3Y and Powerwall. Perhaps Elon was just referring to spending in the business and not on the customer-facing side, as many owners have commented on certain things suffering as Tesla has scaled. For example, on the service side, parts being delayed for an unreasonable time, recurring or ongoing issues such as the shutter for the Model X and lack of loaners. Elon has said numerous times that owners would get new top-of-the-line P100D or equivalent, likely to tempt owners to upgrade. The other area that seems to have fallen behind is superchargers. There are still many regional holes which have either not been addressed or have not been started or completed on schedule. Hopefully Tesla will make this an area of focus now that the financials have stabilized. The Model E will likely be a huge success and will place a further strain on the service and supercharger network. Grim indeed. The flip side to this narrative is simple: no business ever got ahead by spending recklessly. Neither to spend as much as you can a long-term, successful strategy. Spending on R&D is a balance, and it's clear the legacy automotive companies have been starving R&D for a very long time. Tesla is being massively successful by disrupting, which is legitimately expensive. As Tesla grows, their competition will adapt to the disruption. Continued disruption will get more and more expensive. Spending as quickly as they can will quickly put them at a disadvantage. It'll be interesting to see how they manage that transition. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to hear more of the best posts.